Hey, what is up, guys? Today we are taking an overlook of the Berg Blade Slim, handmade in America. Well, this one isn't, but I'll get to that later. This is going to be a model called the Slim S35VN with titanium scales and micarta. There's Matt's signature if you don't know who Matt Berg is. Well, check out his work. It's really, I love his designs and it's something that I'm excited about. But he does, although he does do handmade work and custom work, this is a production run from We Knives, hence the We Knives case. So let's go ahead and get this guy out. We'll talk about it. I'm not going to carry this guy unless I decide to purchase it. I'll talk about that later. So I don't have too much more other than an overview and a look over this knife here. So let me go ahead and get it open. Excuse me. And we'll get some nitty-gritty details out of the way. So we have an overall length of 6.75 inches with a cutting length of 2.65 inches. We have a blade thickness and scale thickness of 0.155 with a total thickness of 0.5. So yeah, I don't know what the weight is on this guy. I'm assuming it's maybe about 4 something ounces, maybe 3 on the higher end of 3, could be 4. I'm not sure. You guys can look it up yourselves. But yeah, this is the Berg Blade Slim, designed by Matt Berg, but produced by We Knives. If you guys don't know who We Knives are, well, they're kind of a company that has their hand in everything. They do stuff really, really well for custom makers to do production runs. They kind of have their hand in so many things that you kind of have to ask yourself when you're buying something, is this a We Knife? Because if not, you could be kind of confused. But I'm glad that Berg Blades does specify on its website that this is not handmade and it is produced by We Knives, for anyone who may be confused by that. That being said, let's take a look. We got the red micarta version, or sorry, I keep calling this red, but this is actually brown. And to me, it just has this red hint. It's a beautiful micarta, very smooth, no texture almost at all. You can see it on this side, the clip side. The clip is very nice. It is kind of like a stonewash titanium. And we do have the red or the brown micarta around the collar there, so we have a little collar of around the pivot collar. That's what they call them. I couldn't remember, but we're here now, so we're good. Yeah, and this knife is just very cool, very sleek. I do like that they have jimping right here on the back of the back spacer. Now, although you may not feel it in your palm, but if you had to dig in, this would be something that might help out. Especially, you can kind of, if you can hear that, I'm not sure. I am wearing a mic. It does provide some jimping. We also have jimping on the top of the blade here. That's very functional, very not aggressive, but it is aggressive at the same time. If you dig your thumb in there, it's gonna stop. You're not going anywhere, which is a good thing. You know, that's kind of a cool thing about this knife. What else do I have to say off my first impressions and overview of this knife? They're ergonomically, it feels a lot better than it looks. I know it. Some people are gonna be like, it's small. I don't like 3-finger grips, but it feels good even for my fat hand. It feels really good. It looks good. It feels good. A lot better than I thought. It balance wise, I would say. It's hard to say. I would say it's fairly balanced, to tell you the truth, but I was very surprised when picking up this knife how ergonomic it really was. That being said, I wouldn't have been upset if he would have added a way to add a lanyard on this, you know, because your third finger or your fourth finger hangs off. Maybe a little lanyard would have been cool to kind of dig in there, something different, you know. But there's no way to do that on this knife, which is kind of a bummer. You can see the Berg blades inside the handle there. That's cool. We do have a lock bar insert, which is very nice. And you can see how the scale of the micarta here actually kind of acts like an over travel stop if you think about it. Kind of cool. And one of the best parts about this design that I'm just super excited about is that hollow ground blade. It's super thin. It's super thin behind the edge. I think, even though this is a somewhat thicker blade stock, with that hollow ground, you're going to have a pretty good slicer on your hands. Pocket clip in the ergonomics does not create any hot spot, which is very, very nice, especially on a small knife. I feel like small knives have a tendency to create hot spots in places that larger knives wouldn't. This knife is very smooth. It's on ceramic bearings. You can just open it with your thumb that way. You can flick it out if you'd like. You can even do the Spidey flick. Whatever you decide to do, I guess it's up to you. I don't want to open this too much as it's not mine. But that being said, it was given over to for overview, not for review. You can see the bushing or the bearings in there. Very cool. Yeah, this is a super cool knife. I think that if there was any kind of criticism to this knife, as far as the design, I wish that, yes, we had a pocket clip, but this handle leaves me wanting to choke up just a hair. In this grip with the last three fingers, it feels so good that if there was a choil right here, it would be perfect. It would be the perfect little cleaver, you know? And that being said, you can put your finger in this little kind of cutout, which I feel like he did that on purpose for people who want to choke up like that. But the problem with that is that you're so close to this edge, and this being such a finely ground, hollow ground knife, if you slip up, you're going to cut yourself pretty bad. So if you're cutting something and you slip up this way, that's going to be a bad day for you. But yeah, guys, overall, this knife is just super sexy. I think the cleaver is not a fad. I think that there are people who are just attracted to the cleaver blades, and I'm one of them. There is a Berg Blades logo. I don't know where it would say S35VN, but I'm thinking it's somewhere because it is S35, and usually we puts it somewhere. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe they didn't put it on this knife. But either way, you do have the Stonewash titanium, and that follows through on the clip, which is a cool detail. Centering on this knife is damn near perfect, if not perfect. I'm holding the the knife right. And yeah, guys, this is cool. I really do like this. My buddy is still in the process of deciding if he likes it. He's not used to a smaller blade. And if he decides to sell it, I may just pick it up. I'm not sure. It is a very cool knife. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the overview. I'm sorry that it's not a review and I can't give you, what it's like in the pocket, any of those things. It's just how it is until it either becomes mine or it's gone and I don't have a time to say that anymore. You can see it's not a super deep clip here, but you'll have about, let me see, that much sticking out. So maybe even part of the blade sticks out, just a hair like that. But that's not a deal breaker for me. I'm okay with stuff sticking out of my pocket just a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, guys, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm trying to grow this channel and just kind of have fun with it, meet people who are interested in the same things I am, and have fun conversing about these things. So anyway, I want to thank my buddy for handing this over for overview, and I want to thank Berg Blades for designing such a cool knife, and We Knives for being able to create quality productions of such custom work as mats. So hope you guys enjoyed the overview. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.